Alright, so this is a video about a repair I've been working on for some time now for an old Atari Drag Race PCB. This board was scavenged for parts, and uh, these boards, this game wasn't made. I think there were made less than 1,000 of these games made total. And the boards, I don't know how many revisions they went through, but this particular version has these jumper wires everywhere, and that is factory. All right, so every one of these chips that is socketed was missing, had to replace it, and there were a couple of wires that weren't connected, and the schematics don't talk about the jumper wires that they added. So I found pictures online of boards, and one or two of them I was able to figure out where to attach from the pictures, and the rest of them I had to figure out by logic and by trial and error. So this board had a number of broke traces, which was the primary problems for this. There was a power resistor here, and I removed it, and you can see it got hot there. Well, the traces under that power resistor opened. One of them opened. That was the first challenge I had. I had to get the video working, and this line here that goes right by the power resistor was open, and the video signal wasn't getting out. So that was the first thing. Let's see. The board has some trauma to it. In the audio output section, the sound amplifiers, there's a big gigantic hole in the board, as you can see. The other one, these were supposed to be TDA1004s, and they haven't made that chip in a long time, and to be honest with you, it was a crappy chip. So I came up with the design, and I built a board and plugged it in. This is the Player 2 audio, and it uses a TDA1003 to replace the TDA1004. So a modern day, a more modern amplifier, a much more elegant solution in my opinion. And a lot of things that were on the board I removed so it wouldn't interfere with the amplifier setup. But yeah, this is working pretty good. It's not perfect. It's a simplified circuit from ones that you see online. I didn't put all the components in, so that's probably why the audio is not perfect, but it's not bad. I'm quite happy with it, honestly. The ROMs were all good. These are the graphics ROMs. These are the program ROMs. They're all good. Processor was good. Like I said, there were a number of problems with just broke traces, and also these wires were not connected upright. So I do have this board running now. I bought this board maybe 6-8 months ago, and I made a video of the board when I first got it, and I discussed some of the initial repairs, but I've lost the data, those videos, so I'm kind of starting from scratch now. The board did not come with the 5-volt regulator chip. It's a T03, looks like a transistor, but it's a regulator that goes there, and also the heat sink's missing. So what I did is I just soldered a wire there, and I'm connecting this directly up to 5 volts. This board here, normally you have 18 volts that supplies power to these TDA1004s. This board can handle 18 volts, but I don't have 18 volts coming off my switcher, so 12 volts is being supplied to the audio. So if I ever were, or I should say if this board is ever to be used into a drag race, an Atari drag race cabinet, you could potentially use it with the AC supplies that come into this, but probably would be wise to use a switcher anyway. It's just a more reliable setup. Anyway, so let's turn this thing on and see how it works. Now, I'm running this on a color monitor, and this is a black and white board, so you see it comes in, and it doesn't look great because, like I said, it's not a black and white monitor. And to do that, to use a color monitor on a black and white board, you've got to figure out the logic. Well, I've got solder here, shorten out, get that out of the way. So you'll see some wires underneath here. One of those may be a repair, I don't recall, but one of them is to send the signal, the composite signal, straight out so that I can hook up the monitor to it. And what you're going to do is you're going to tie, you're not going to use the composite signal, you're going to use the two signals, you're going to use the sync signal and the video signal, and tie them together without gating it, without using the mixing circuit on the board, and then connect your tie those two signals together, and then connect that to your signal to any one color, or in my case, all three colors, so I get black and white of your color monitor. That's how you can do that. Now, if you're going to use a black and white monitor with a board like this, you're going to want to remove those jumpers, and no components were removed or anything like that. It's just a simple jumper. Let's see. To convert this back to running the original power, you would need the heatsink and the TO3 5-volt regulator. You need this power resistor. I think it's like a 2 ohm. Have to look in the manual for that. And that's it. Everything else is populated. I don't think there's any capacitors or anything. There were a couple capacitors missing, and I added those, but that's for the audio. These are not power. These are audio output couplers. There were some parts missing here, like a potentiometer for volume control. Anyway, so let's just play this game and see how it goes. So the audio that you're hearing is for the player 2. And as you can hear, it sounds pretty good, I think, for my first attempt at replacing the audio amp. So I'm trying to play this game with a joystick. I don't have the steering hooked up. I don't know if the steering circuitry has problems or not. I would rather not think it does. I think it's probably fine. But maybe I'll figure out a way to test that with a trackball or something. But right now I'm just showing that I got it basically working. So, a neat old game, very old. One of Atari's first games, I suppose, with at least a microprocessor base. This is a 6502 processor in this board. So, probably a board that should have never been revived, but I took it on as a challenge. I want to see if I could get it. And honestly, it didn't have that many problems. I think the problems were mostly just connections, broken traces and such, and somebody just couldn't figure it out. And I ended up with it, and I figured it out. So, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it.